couple of facts and we're gonna get into it. Start as early as you can with these tips that I'm giving you, and my recommendation is that you want to start this the summer before your senior year, so that you're not stressed out during senior year when you start getting your work, your harder classes, and then you got to do college applications. I'm telling you right now, college applications is like another class. It's like a full-time job.
He was all out of
Yep.
class today.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good.
Good.
Oh.
Stop
Oh.
recording me, bitch. Now get the fuck out my drive-thru.
I want you to get a piece of paper, open a Google Doc. I want you to start writing down the jobs you have, the clubs you were in, the honors you won, the awards, honors.
I graduate with honors.
The sports you've done.
I ball NATO Connor.
Any volunteer work you've done. And let me tell you, if you didn't get to do any of this because you had to sit home and take care of your siblings, you cooked, you cleaned.
Yes, I do the cooking. Yes, I do the cleaning.
Basically, you was like a parent. Write that down, because that is just as valuable. Shows you're responsible, you handling stuff and you getting things done. If you're doing that and you got good grades, the colleges will love you. Of course, with this, you want to be able to estimate your hours per week and your positions. Were you a member, a participant? Were you a secretary, a president? Then they come in with these leadership positions. Were you a leader in this activity? If you led a team, if you made a plan, if you guided anyone, you were a leader. Listen to me. If you gave directions out to anyone, if you took charge, if you were doing a whole bunch of stuff, you were a leader. After you write this resume, obviously you should know what your grades are, and then you ask yourself, what kind of applicant am I? Am I like, compare yourself to people around you. What have you done within your years, and how does that contest against the people in your community? If you're doing above and beyond what everyone else around you is doing, you're a strong applicant. Be proud of yourself. If you're not, probably like mediocre,
I really just wanted some advice. I love your stuff.
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
And that's okay. It's okay to be average. It's just good that you know that, so you know your strategy when you start applying to colleges. And also, another thing you need to know, what is your spike? What is that one thing that you're super good at? You're gonna use that to your advantage in your application. You got to stay active during the summer if you're doing this in the summer. Keep up with your job, keep up with your prior commitments. You gotta keep up. Like, you can't be slacking, okay? There's kids carrying cancer.
You're a disgrace.
Okay, so who do you think you are? And then you've got passion project. This is where you take a cause or a topic that's important to you and you do something big. And when I say big, I mean big. Like, maybe you make a website or a blog, you make a YouTube channel, you do a nonprofit, you start a club or an organization, you're doing a research paper, or you're doing a service project. Bottom line, you gotta do something you care about. Another thing to know, the biggest accomplishment you can do as a teenager is getting something published. If you can do that, good. If you can't, doesn't mean that you're not good, doesn't mean that you don't stand a chance. You just didn't do it. Test optional is not test optional. Do me a favor, go on College Board and schedule your SAT. It's important that if you can, go take that test. Yes, we know the test is racist. It gives the colleges some type of standardized benchmark, because your GPA is subjective. 4.0 from the preparatory prep school is not the same as a 4.0 from your local public school. It's not the same thing. Like, see, it's too subjective. Make sure you study for it ahead of time. Khan Academy, Reddit. You can get this stuff for free. Don't be lazy, okay? You can study if you really want to. And if the SAT, figure out if the ACT or the SAT is best for you. And you can take both as a practice test and then go from there. And here's a great thing I want to tell you guys about that. Do not compare yourself to the average, because you're being compared to pools of people that are similar to you. So know that. Be empowered by that. And apply knowing that that's something that they do. It truly is holistic, personalized help. You can't do it on your own. This is your first time applying to college. Find a school counselor or a college counselor. They have that experience. They've met with so many students and they help them make their list and they've seen where they gotten into, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, but I'm poor. I can't afford it. Or my school has 3 counselors and we have 700 students. I got you. There are programs that offer free college counseling. A couple of programs that I know of are Matriculate and the Match Slider Scholarship. Matriculate will match you with a college student and you guys get a curriculum and go with that. The Match Slider Scholarship matches you with a professional that is volunteering. That's something that you need to get onto, so I have it in the links below. So if none of these are open or work down, you can simply search free college counselor. The personal statement, aka the Common App essay, aka the college statement, aka you know what I'm talking about. The part that everyone gets so fussed up about. What am I gonna tell the colleges about me?
Let me in, please. I said 2 minutes. It's been 2 minutes.
I'm gonna tell them you're gorgeous and you're smart and you cured cancer and they have no reason to not accept you. No, don't write to get in. Write to show who you are. Show your personality. Show how you think. Show your writing skills. So remember this when you're writing your essay. What is important to know about me? And then when you've written your masterpiece, show it to people who don't know you too well. So it's great to show your application as well, like the whole thing, or just the essay, to someone that you don't know too much, because they will give you a true assessment of how that's going to be perceived by someone who doesn't know you. When you get the response, you ask yourself, does that sound like me? And if not, you gotta write that thing over. Next, identify what you want in your college experience. Do you want to go to sororities, fraternities, tailgates?
Do you want the small college feel? Do you want the big college feel? Do you want parties all night? Or do you want to be able to eat out with your professors?
You pick this and you'll learn more from your research on colleges, but have a little bit of something ahead of time and it'll get you going. Some other things that you should consider are
the curriculums for the programs you're applying to. The programs they have for undecided majors. Do you want specialized advising? Do you want career services? Do you want to go on career treks? Career treks are basically things where they will take you to a different city to go see the companies there. That sound interesting to you? You gotta go figure that out.
Next, we make our college list. I want you to make a college list of safety and likely schools, or that's your public school, or even easier schools where you're far beyond the academic profile. They want you. They'll throw money at you. They'll probably be financial safeties too. Financial safeties. Schools that give a lot of money. Match and target schools. Schools where you fit with the population. Reach schools. Schools that are out of your reach, but you're applying because you believe in yourself. Aim for 10 to 15 schools. Make sure it's balanced. It's recommended to have at least 3 safeties and 3 matches. Some good websites to start your college search and to keep track of your list are College Vine, College Greenlight. These 2 are personal favorites of mine. So go check it, it's in the bio. And from this, you're gonna decide, are you gonna do the Common App or the Coalition app? Or are you gonna do both? You really would wanna just do one because you don't wanna fill out the same thing all over again. And for anyone who doesn't know what any of these applications are, they're basically applications where you fill out the common information and then you can click on each school and then have the specified questions and requirements that are wanted for each school. Now, what's the difference between the 2? The Common App has over 700 colleges from the US and abroad, but you can only apply to 20, which should be fine because we said we're sticking to 15. Yes, some schools have fees, but you can get them waived. Now, the Coalition App, they only have upwards of 100 colleges, but it's because they're picking specific schools that meet their requirements of accessible schools. So these schools tend to provide a lot of support for low income or minority students. And they have fees too, but they can be waived. Now we're on to letters of recommendation. Are you listening? If you weren't listening now, Listen, ask people who know you well. Ask people who they talk about you, they brag about you when you identify this person. Ask them as early as possible.
Rise and shine.
And if it's a teacher, ask them before the school year starts or right when it starts so you get your recommendation quick. Tell them what you expect from the letter. A good letter of recommendation should not be a reiteration of your activities. It should not be, she's the president, she did this, she did that, she did that, she did that. Great student, accept them. No. If they did that to you, they played you. You show them this video and you tell them, no, I refuse to accept that letter. Say it nicely though. What does a good letter of recommendation contain? The person who writes it needs to be touched by you, and they need to express that to the people that's gonna read the letter.
She's really good.
You want to make sure they address it generally. One, that'll be Dear Scholarship Committee and Dear Admissions Committee. Because you're applying for scholarships and you're gonna need a letter of recommendation. And a good one like this will be great. Last tips for letter of recommendations. Ask nicely, ask early, and be thankful. Research. Get organized. I'm talking spreadsheets. I'm talking OneNotes. I'm talking. You need to keep track of the supplementals, deadlines for your decisions. You have early action, early decision, regular decision. If you're interested, yeah, ask in the comments or I make another video. Financial aid deadline and scholarship deadlines. And these tend to be earlier than regular decision. They're usually around November or December. So you want to put this in a big chart. You might even want to check for the time for when your test scores need to be sent in. And other programs. Maybe you want to apply for the business program, so you need to get it in early. You need to know this. Getting into the actual research. Now for the initial research, we're going to do a site scan and or a general info session. General info sessions are a waste of time. They give you basic information. They say how many people go, how many undergrad they have, their traditions, and other stuff you can literally just look on the site for. So save yourself the 30 minutes or 1 hour and do your site scan for the basic info. When you're doing this, I want you to get a gauge for who applies to the school and the programs they offer. Then you do your deep dig. You go into the site and you're looking. You look into the financial aid, you look into the scholarships they offer, you look into the curriculum, the courses, internships they offer, the average salary of the people graduating from your program, net price calculator, and the My Intuition calculator for financial aid. You put in your family's information and it spits out how much the school is probably going to give you based on other people. Do this. Every single college you want to apply for, please. Then you go into your program specific info sessions. They're my personal favorites. These will help you differentiate between taking business at this school and taking business at that school. Now, you do not move on to the next step until you do all of what I just said. Because you're getting all the basic, information out of the way. After this, you talk to people, students that go there. Talk to students in your major. Talk to professors in your major. You talk to the admissions officer. You ask your questions. Make sure your questions are good. Do not waste these people's time. And of course, you watch your YouTube videos, day in the life of a blank student. And, maybe if you can find things about the different majors and you can hear from students too. Then you do your college visits. Make sure you have questions prepared for this. When you go to your college visit, you talk to students there too. You get a feel of the campus. Is it too big? Is it too small? You can't eat the food. If you can't, go look into the freshman dorm. And you leave an impression on the admissions counselor. You should be asking questions about everything. They should be like, whoa, you really want to go here, huh? You really want to go here. And at the end, you say, hi, thank you so much for giving me a tour. I appreciate it so much, and I love this school so much, and I hope I can see you next year. I'd like to maybe get your email or your business card. You send them a thank you email or some more questions to keep them, they can't forget about you. And when they go over your application, they're gonna be like, so that was that girl. Letting her in. Then fly-in programs. This is where schools pay you to go to their school. You pay for the expenses, the trips, and you get to lie down and relax in the dorms, and you get to taste their food. all for $0.00. Applying phase. Now, the reason why we did all that research earlier is one, to confirm if you want to go to the school, and two, to write an amazing supplement. Supplementals are usually short answers or essays that the schools will ask you for to get a better gauge of who you are and how you'll fit into their community, and if you really want to go there or you're just looking for the name brand. Number one tip, be honest, be who you are. Like we said with the essay, do not write to get in. Write to show who you are, and you'll get in, because everyone likes a nerdy, cool, original person. Apply your research into your supplementals. Get specific. Talk about Professor John, who you discussed microphysics with, and go deep into how that conversation just made you say, this is a school for me. Don't be scared to drop the names that you found. Talk about specific programs. Talk about the clubs, and tie your research and the programs and the clubs that the school offers to your career goals and your interests. At the end of your supplemental, you should be able to say, yeah, they can't deny me. I know everything about them, and they know I know everything about them. What to not do. Not say, I've always wanted to go here. I've been dreaming to go here all my life. My mom went here. My father went here. My principal thinks I can get in here. No. Activities and honors. I am giving y'all gold right here. Only add important stuff. Don't put things just to fill up space. You don't have to fill up all the sections. 2, 3, 4 clubs or activities that are strong, that you're committed to, you are in for a long time, and you have a leadership. They rejected me. Leadership position. Do not repeat anything more than once in your application. You have such limited space. We can't waste it. Talk yourself up.
In reality, I'm 5'4", stand on my money now, I'm 6'6".
Embellish. Don't lie. Add numbers if you can. If you don't have enough space, because you're just an overachiever and you like to do everything, combine multiple things.
Dollars all around. Dollars all around. Who this dollars all around. Dollar bills, yeah.
Financial aid versus scholarships. Financial aid is based off of your family's income. It's based off of need. You can be able to estimate this using the net price or the My Intuition calculator. Editing me here. There are 2 specific forms that you'll need to fill out before even being considered for any type of financial aid, and most scholarships, especially school-specific scholarships, and some national ones too. These are called the FAFSA and the CSS profile. Estimate how much your family will be able to contribute. Based on that, the colleges will judge how much financial aid they give you, and then they'll also judge for different scholarships too. So you've got to fill that out. You need the FAFSA for every single college and the CSS for most private schools. They both open October 1st. Do not do it on the first day. Everyone will try to do it and the site will crash. Wait maybe 1 or 2 weeks after. Another thing you need to know is you do not need to take the financial aid they give you. You can appeal for aid. You can write them a letter, explain your situation, and tell them why you won't be able to pay. And, be nice, say that, you love the school, but the price right now is the only thing holding you back. And then another thing you can do is compare the aid that you've got with other schools in order to get the best financial aid for the school that you really want to go to. You got this. What are scholarships? They are free money, and it's based off of different criteria depending on the scholarship. You have ones based off of merit, volunteer work, essays you write, different eligibilities. When you turn in your scholarships, make sure you're sending good letters of recommendation. Organized in a huge Excel sheet with your dates, your name for the scholarship, your links to the websites, and the amount that you're getting. Just so you remember why you're putting in that hard work. We have search engine links in the bio. Now we're gonna get into scholarship types. Listen up, this is free money. You can't be slacking. You have school-based ones. For some colleges, you are automatically considered. Once you turn in your application by a specific date, you'll be considered for all scholarships or a certain amount of scholarships. For others, you need separate applications, and this will vary by school. Some schools automatically consider you for all scholarships. Some you have to apply, and some they have a little bit of both. So make sure you're searching that up with your colleges. National scholarships. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about Coca-Cola. We're talking about Burger King. We're talking about Jack Can't Cook. Go search those up if you haven't heard of them. Thanks, I gave you free money. For these ones, it would be nice to find someone who wants tips and tricks that they have, that they know, that we non-winners, non-appliers don't know about. Tip I noticed on my own. Some scholarships have their winners displayed. It'll give you a gauge for if you're even eligible for the scholarship, or if you need to, like talk things up. You start dropping in numbers and stuff like that. I'd say honestly, keep that energy for every national scholarship since there's just so many people applying, but especially do it for the ones where they are publicizing their scholars, because they want to be able to brag about you. For these, you need good letter of recommendation. Make sure the person who's talking about you can display that you impact. And then appeal to the values of the scholarship. Here is a hidden gem: local scholarships or small scholarships. And these scholarships tend to be giving small amounts. They'll give like $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, less than $10,000 most likely. But these are the ones that are gold mines, because look, so little people know about it. You're competing against like 10 other people. You have an upwards chance. Apply for these ones because the money builds up. How to find local scholarships? I got you. Talk to local businesses. You see some random business, you write it down. You see your churches, you see your volunteer organizations, you see your nonprofits, you see, those little stuff in your community. Write it down, you call up people, you talk to people, and that's how you find. And then when you talk to them, you ask them, do you know of any other local scholarships? And hopefully they'll point you around, or they'll point you to someone that may know. Ask your counselor, of course, in high school, because they'll hopefully have all the information for you. Lots of schools usually receive lists, so look into that. And then look for scholarships for people in your state, in your city, in your district. Get as specific as you can. You got this. Put in the work and you'll find them. Last thoughts: if you made it all the way here, congrats. You're more prepared than a lot of other people.
Amazing!
Number one advice my mom always tells me: if you don't apply, you won't be considered. Let them say no. Don't say no for them. Then next, do this process with other people. It's a life-changing process. It's big. It's a huge thing. This is where you're gonna be living for the next 4 years. It's gonna determine a lot of things that happen in your life in the next couple of years. So don't do it alone. Do it with other people. Have that support around you. If your parents can help you, ask them. Ask them to help you in every way that they possibly can. Talk to your parents. Y'all need to be on the same page. If your parents want you to stay in state, you need to know that, so that you can be able to argue your case, or you staying in the state. So you need to know where your parents are in this process. Make it fun. Gamify this process. Next, enjoy your summer. Like I said earlier, do not spend your summer doing only this. Have fun with your friends. Take breaks when you need to, because you have time, but it's nice to start early, of course. Here are some things you need to keep with you at the end of this process. The school you go to does not determine your future. Everyone that goes to Harvard is not Mark Zuckerberg. And there are some people who go to your state school and they blow up. They are the next Mark Zuckerberg. So I want you to keep that in your head as you're going through this process. Do not let this process and these decisions and these rejections or acceptances define who you are as a person. If you get in, good, you got in, but you were great regardless of it. If you didn't get in, you're still great. So make sure you leave any questions you have in the comment section. Search the description for all the links, because I put all the links and some more in the description. And share this with other people that are going through this. Don't hog the info to yourself. Send it to your friends, and make sure you like and subscribe and turn on post notifications for more. Thanks for watching.